I am currently of the opinion that most of the people running in the Democratic primary are doing it to sell books and just to build some brand recognition, but they don't think they're actually going to win. In this story from NBC News, look over here, Democratic candidates struggle for recognition in outsized field. Some contenders are having a tough time busting out. Experts say that's what happens when there are too many choices. Well, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, take a look at this image. What is this? Like, there's 21 people here, and this is not even, I don't believe this is even everyone who's running. And the funny thing is, most of them, like Kirsten Gillibrand's polling at like 1% or 0%. Like, what are you doing? I guess, you know, some of these people thought they might actually have a chance, announced they were going to run, and then fizzled out. What do? Do you just bail out of the race immediately? Well, there's, what's his name? I think it's Richard Ojeda, who is from West Virginia. He was like one of the first people to announce, and then he was also like one of the first people to say he's not going to run. But I'll tell you one thing that's really funny. When we pop over to 538's Democratic presidential primary polls, they include Hillary Clinton on this list for some reason, which is scary. But they do show Biden, like basically Biden owns the field. Every poll, nonstop. It's then Biden, Bernie Sanders, and then even Elizabeth Warren dominates. So here's what I want to do. I want to take a look at this story. Look at this caption on this photo. Seriously, 2020 Democratic presidential candidates. I am not going to read this list. Never going to happen. But before we get started, and I critique this big field of no-name randoms, go to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There's a monthly donation option, a cryptocurrency option, a physical address, but of course you can just share the video, like and comment. Engaging with the video really helps. But let's see what NBC News has to say about the fact that there's a bunch of random people running that, like, we're never going to win. And I want to point something out. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Bernie Sanders. I'll start with Bernie Sanders. I think Bernie Sanders has a real chance. Absolutely, people love Bernie. He's been consistent on his policy positions for the most part. I was a bigger fan of him several years ago, but, you know, he's a legitimate contender. Kamala Harris is another establishment figure I think is a legit contender. Elizabeth Warren, yes, but she's probably fizzled. Cory Booker, I think, doesn't have the staying power. Now let's talk about the rest of the people who have absolutely no chance, even the people that I've actually supported who I don't think will win. But here's the thing. Klobuchar ate Sal with a comb. What? Kirsten Gillibrand has gone hardcore far left, and it's not working. I don't know who this guy is. Beto O'Rourke has zero policies. Tulsi Gabbard, absolutely 100% principled, good person. I'm supporting her, and of course the establishment will never allow it. But you know what? It is what it is. Don't know this guy. I know this guy because this is Eric Swalwell. He recently said that he was like apologizing for being a white man, basically. Like, he didn't say that, but he talked about how as a white man, he has blind spots and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Don't know this guy. Don't know this guy. Don't know this guy. There's Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg actually looks like some dude I know. I don't think Buttigieg has a chance to win. Don't know him. Don't know him. Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang, I also don't think is going to win. What can I say? But I'm definitely supporting Yang because he's really thought out his plans. He's engaged with conservatives and liberals. I think he's doing a really good job of being. He's a principled guy who has real ideas, and that speaks a lot. Like, he went on Ben Shapiro's show, and that was a really great conversation where Yang presented a bunch of his ideas. Ben agreed with some and pushed back on others that I think show some of the vulnerabilities in Yang's positions. And that's the way it should be. It's brilliant. No idea who this lady is or this guy. And that's Joe Biden, who's probably going to be the nominee and won't win. There's a reason why he didn't win with, you know, he was vice president, you know, sure. But let's see what NBC News has to say. Outside the handful of best-known candidates, the rest of the 2020 Democratic field risks melting together into an indistinguishable blob in the summer heat. Wow. Okay, NBC. Candidates kept jumping into the largest presidential primary field in history because voters kept telling pollsters they wanted fresher faces and gave no one a commanding lead like the one Hillary Clinton enjoyed heading into the 2016 primary. But former Vice President Joe Biden's stronger than expected start suggests voters might not have wanted so many options and may be more comfortable picking a familiar face after all. Sure. But you know why they're doing it? They're doing it because they're going to sell a book afterwards. No, for real. They're going to write, like, My Great Journey. They're getting press. I don't know who these people are. The John Hickenlooper is in there somewhere. I don't even know who that is. Mayor Wayne Messam. Who? The only reason I know Pete Buttigieg is because he's running. And that's the thing. Buttigieg is the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. I think he still is. And that's it. He's a mayor of a small town in Indiana. Not even, like, I'm pretty sure it's South Bend. Like, not even the biggest city, I don't think. And it might as well be Chicago. I mean, it's not that close, but still. And now he's nationally famous. Now he's got crowds forming. So here's what's going to happen. I think most of these people know they're not going to win. A bunch of them want to make money. A bunch of them want to go on TV and build their profile. It's going to help them in lower level elections. This is just them getting press. I doubt they actually want to be president. And you know what would be really funny if one of these like random no-name people actually gets the nomination? The race is still wide open. Frontrunners Biden and Bernie Sanders together have less than half the vote. That leaves the rest of the pack praying for a breakout moment, needing to capture the attention of increasingly distracted Americans by competing not only with one another and President Trump, but also with Netflix and Candy Crush and everything else trying to monetize our time. Sure. Democratic primary voters might be suffering what social scientists call choice overload, which can turn much of the field into background noise. But I'll make another point. Why are there so many Democrats? Well, let's take a look at this list and keep looking at this photograph. It's hilarious. But the ideology between these people is very, very, very different. The Democrats, in my opinion, don't have a cohesive, group anymore. As far as I'm concerned, most of these people have completely opposing views on many different issues. Sure, they're all mostly to the left, but I think what we've seen is the Democrats have fractured completely. Hillary, I think about 2016, who was running in the primary? Hillary Clinton, and then I don't even remember anybody else, Bernie Sanders. There were two other dudes who dropped out right away. There was basically no one the Democrats had. There was no rising star personality. There was no charismatic leader. And for that matter, Barack Obama was a rising star very, very quickly. Hillary Clinton, old guard, couldn't do it. Now what do they have? They have a bunch of random people, and the Democrats are spread so thin, there is no unified party. I do not see them winning. No way. I mean, that's not even including the economy and Trump's approval going up. They say Barry Schwartz, psychologist who wrote the best-selling book, The Paradox of Choice, Why More is Less, said research from the world of consumer goods shows how buyers become overwhelmed by having too many options and often gravitate toward brands they know best, glancing right over the rest. Absolutely. Joe Biden's going to take it. There was a study I read about once where they told people to fill out a questionnaire and they said, this is the study. If you complete it, you get a free t-shirt. But the real study was one group got a green t-shirt. Another group was given a choice between a yellow or a green t-shirt. Here's the interesting thing. The people afterwards, when they were given the green t-shirt, rated their prize as they were happier with it than those who had the choice. Because when given a choice between yellow or green, afterwards some people second-guessed themselves and felt like maybe they should have chosen the other one. Being given no choice resulted in happier people. That's kind of scary, isn't it? Choice makes people unhappy. Instead of choosing on the basis of policies or past performance, which are hard to evaluate, people may choose on the basis of something that is easy to evaluate, like familiarity. Schwartz told NBC News, so yes, I'm guessing that Biden benefits from such a large field. While Schwartz cautioned the research does not come from the world of politics, some social scientists have argued this dynamic helped explain Trump's victory in the crowded 2016 GOP field. Also, Trump dominated the press. He manipulated the press, and it worked very, very well for him. They say it's easy to see why Democratic primary voters would be overwhelmed by a field that remains largely unknown to them. Seriously, do you think Democratic voters are going to go through each candidate and read their policy positions? No way. Never going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of low-tier people. The Democratic primaries, it doesn't matter if there's 50 candidates. All that matters is that Joe Biden gets a little bit more than everybody else, and he will. No matter how many candidates they add, Joe Biden will likely always get more votes than any of the other candidates. Maybe Bernie Sanders. But the point is, if you have 50 candidates and they each get, 5 votes or something, or 5%, or that doesn't make sense. But the point is, you get it. If most people, even only 10 out of 100, vote for Joe Biden, that 10 votes will be higher than the rest of the field, depending on how many candidates you have. Voting for president is like voting for a parent. You want somebody who's strong. You want somebody who you can complain to and who'll be sympathetic. Garcetti said, I think Joe is somebody that people feel has been part of their family. I don't know anything about Joe Biden, and I'm certainly not going to vote for him simply because I heard his name. But you guys know who I'm probably going to vote for. Here we go. When a Twitter user jokingly conflated Rep. Tim Ryan of Ohio with Seth Moulton of Massachusetts, two 40-something white men running underdog presidential bids, Moulton responded with self-deprecating humor. No, Derek, this is New York City Mayor Eric Swalwell, Moulton said, intentionally mixing up New York Mayor Bill de Blasio and Rep. Eric Swalwell. And the other funny thing is that de Blasio's polling at like 0%. So we get it. The story concludes by saying, the debates become the moment for candidates to break out. It'll be a little like Hollywood Squares, but I just feel like voters are going to watch this thing with fresh eyes. Still, no one really knows, he added with a laugh, recalling his unsuccessful first congressional run, yada, yada, yada. Okay, here's what's going to happen. The debates are going to happen, and I'll tell you this. Here's my advice to you Democrats. If you want to come out on top, you need screen time. The way you get that, be a bad person. One of the reasons Trump was able to dominate the press and win in the GOP primaries is because he's a boisterous, loud man, and he routinely insults. He would give people labels. Who do you think they want to point the camera at? You think CNN cares? CNN wants ratings and money. All the networks do. Be entertaining. Trump is entertaining. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people like him, but Trump is a very polarizing figure. So those that love him are going to watch him, and those that hate him are going to watch him. The network's going to be like, who should we put on primetime for the debates? And one of the biggest factors is going to be how much money can we make. So if you're a Democratic candidate, all you need to do is do something really weird that gets you a ton of attention without outright destroying your campaign, and they will put the camera on you again. That's why Trump would come out and be like, I'm calling for X, I'm doing Y, I'm saying this. Because by doing that, he's priming the debates. Listen, if before the debate, a Democrat comes out and says, I think X should happen, and it's a crazy plan, then come time for the debates, they're going to take that opportunity to interview you on the things you've said. Long story short, the point of this video before we wrap up and move on is that I really doubt half these people want to be president. No, I think they want to make some money, they want to run for re-election, and this is the best opportunity to advertise themselves, and they can call themselves a presidential, candidate or something in the future. Bravo. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I felt like it was about time to talk about the absurd number of Democrats, but stick around, more segments to come, and I will see you all shortly.